Namaste. Good morning, friends. We're here today for a quick full body practice. We'll just be standing and sitting today. All right, so come onto your mat. Let's find Tadasana. Feet hips distance apart, hands relaxed at the side. Come into your Ujjayi breath here. Focus your gaze on a single point. We'll begin with just the arm movements of Sun Salutation. Inhale, send the arms out and up, look to the thumbs overhead. Exhale, reach through all 10 fingers as if you could send your arms out to infinity as you bring the hands back to the heart. Good. And again, inhale, send the arms out and up. Press down through the feet, looking up to the thumbs. Exhale, reaching out through the hands. Now, lengthen through the crown of the head, root down and extend up. We'll take one more. Inhale, arms out and up. And exhale, hands around to the heart. Now this time, inhale the arms up just like before, but this time interlace the hands overhead, all but the index finger. Index finger stays nice and lifted, nice. Now find your bandhas, lift the pelvic floor, lift the belly button, squeezing the upper arm bones around the ears. Make it into a little back bend. Press the hips forward, but lift the belly button, lift the chest. Press the upper arms back and send the gaze up to the sky. Lots of breath. Take it easy, particularly if your body is not warm at all. So if you're doing this early morning, take it much easier than if you've been up and around moving already. Last breath in. Good. Come back up to neutral and drop the right hand to the hip. Feet stand together. Inhale up through the left side. Lean to the right. Press down into the right foot and open up through left side body. Make sure the chest isn't collapsing, but that top shoulder is pressing back long. And really use this hand to counterbalance, opening through the lower back, opening through the side body. We'll inhale back up to center, both arms up. Good. Exhale, left hand to the hip. Nice. Press down through right foot, lengthen up to the sky, and then begin to lean to the left, counter pressing with this left hand into the hip. Breathe. Nice. We'll come back up to center. Release the hands down. Hands interlace behind the body. And again, straighten the arms here. Squeeze the palms, squeeze the shoulder blades. Again, we're lifting the front body. Support from the core as you now reach the hands up away from the body as well. Opening through the chest. If you like, you can send your gaze up to the sky, but that might not feel good on the neck. It's pretty crunchy in the neck, so you might keep the gaze forward. Big breathing into the front of the chest and front body. Nice, we'll release down. Separate the feet, hips distance, hands onto the hips, and just begin to circle the hips. Soften the knees here, and lots of breath. Really pressing out into the outer hip to awaken the hips. Good. Let's go in the other direction, circling. No real right or wrong way to do this. Let it feel good. Very good. All right. As we come back to center, shift the weight into the left foot, keeping your balance. Right knee lifts. Interlace the hands around the shin. This is standing wind release. So the knee is coming towards the armpit. Gaze down to a point in front of you, or focus your gaze. Your standing leg is straight and strong. Notice if you're leaning back or if you're leaning forward, and try to get your shoulders right over the hips, and then hug that knee in. Press down through your standing leg to get as tall as you can through the crown of the head. Good. From here, take your hands and guide your leg across, ankle above the knee. That's it. Palms to the heart. Sit back into a one-leg chair for standing pigeon. Breathe into the outer right hip. We'll press to stand one more before we place that right foot down. Hands release down to the sides. Now send your foot back. Grab onto the ankle. I'll turn to the side so you can see. Grab onto the foot. Yep. Your other arm comes up overhead. Press your hips into an imaginary wall. Lengthen your right knee down towards the floor and a little bit behind you. Quad stretch. Good, release, and shake it out. All right, weight goes into the right foot now. Focus your gaze, standing wind release. Hug your left knee up towards the armpit. Stand up tall, breathe. Excellent. Standing pigeon. Using the hands, knee, ankle comes across the knee, palms to the heart. Sit back. Breathing into left hip. And we'll press to stand, hands release down, grabbing onto that ankle for a standing quad stretch. Other arm comes up, press your hips forward, send your left knee down to the floor and back behind. Excellent. We'll release this down and give that all a nice shake. Feet are hips distance apart. Send the hips back for chair pose. So you might have your feet rather than hips distance, you might have them a little closer together, or for chair, you might also like your inner ankle bones to touch. Just depends on your chair here. But as you sit back, let the torso come down. Press the shin bones towards the back wall. Reach the arms forward at shoulder height and knit the ribs in. So feel yourself strong through the core. If your knees are not touching, then you're hugging an imaginary block here. And just reach your hands for opposite elbows. Cross the forearms. Good. Focus down to the floor. Find a point. Feel your strength building from the pelvic floor, the inseam of the legs, the core of the body. And slowly press to stand. Good. Release the hands. Hands onto hips. Step nice and wide. Right. Toes turn out a bit. Yep. And now, hinging from the hips, coming forward with the torso, bend your left knee deeply and sink down into left hip. Good. We'll come through center. Keep your torso parallel to the floor as you bend now into the right knee. Sink down and breathe. Good, we'll go back to the left. And slow motion back to the right. Back through center, legs straight, spine straight. Come up, flat back, strong legs. Heel toe the feet and then step them together. Hands walk around to the lower back, fingertips point down. Feet hips distance. Inhale here, nice and tall. Exhale again, just hinge forward from the hips. Keep your hands on your lower back. Spine parallel to the floor. Right, draw your front ribs in. Try to ground the heels down and send your sitting bones up to the sky. Notice if your hips are really far behind the heels, and see if you can try to begin to align the hips over the heels a little more. That'll make your legs work a lot harder. Last breath. Good. So nice. Into the hamstrings. Hands release down. Take a seat, Sukhasana. So get comfortable in your easy pose here. So legs can cross in any position that feels good for you. You're also welcome to sit up onto a bolster to get yourself some more height under the hips. All right. Oh, so just let your chin drop down to the chest here. Hands interlace behind the head, a gentle deepening of that neck stretch. Good. Hands release down. Keep your chin nice and low here. And bring your right ear to the shoulder. And chin comes forward and down. And left ear to the shoulder. Chin forward and down. So just between shoulder to shoulder here around the front side. Notice what's happening in the neck. Whichever side your ear is on, whichever shoulder you're at, pause there, take a couple breaths. Make your opposite shoulder and elbow heavy down to the floor. Good, head releases forward and down, and to the other shoulder, pause. Take just a couple breaths. And release, head forward and down. From center, lift the head up to neutral. Good. Reaching the left fingertips out to the side. Inhale, right arm up, lengthen out of the side body. Exhale through center and inhale to the other side. So we keep both the hips heavy on the floor. Exhaling through center and inhaling, lengthening, opening the breath into the side ribs, into the side body. One more to this side. Exhale through center, and one more to the other side. Good. As you come back up, hands release onto the knees and rotate your torso forward, down, and around. So make this feel good. Again, no right or wrong way. Let your head go though. So the head is also part of the weight that's drawing the torso around and around. Go in the other direction, so you'll inhale up the other side. And exhale down. Nice. Back to center. Draw the feet together, almost like we're in child's pose. Wrap your arms around, trying to get the torso nice and close to the thighs. Drop the head down. Here we want to feel the spine is rounding. So as the head drops down, notice the pull. In my body, it's quite a strong pull. As I release the weight of the head, I feel it through the neck, through the upper shoulders, even down into the mid-back. Now send your breath right into that pull along the spine. See if you can expand the breath into back ribs to help stretch and release those tissues in the back. Good. Head lifts. Again, find Sukhasana, seated cat-cow. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, round the chest back, chin to chest. A few more times. Inhale. Try to feel the movement starting in the pelvis and moving all the way up through the spine and the crown of the head. So it's the pelvis that tilts forward first, whole spine undulates, pelvis tilts back first, whole spine undulates. Excellent. Find your seat in neutral. Extend your left leg and cross your right foot over the top of the thigh. We did this standing earlier. So right foot's crossed here. Reach your arms forward and just come forward any amount. So the right foot that's crossed, you keep it firmly flexed, right? That right foot's very active. This helps protect the knee. And come forward. You can let your spine round, but don't push it here. Just getting a little deeper into right hip. Inhale to come up. Hold on to that leg. Wrap your elbow around the foot. Elbow around the knee. Sit up nice and tall and rock the baby. This is called cradle pose. Excellent. Release the foot down. All right, right leg is extended, left foot comes across, the foot is firmly flexed. Sit up nice and tall, reach the arms forward, and let yourself come forward any amount that feels good as you breathe into your left hip. Use the hands to walk back up the spine. Come into cradle, wrapping elbows around foot and knee. Sitting up nice and tall, and then rotating the leg from side to side. Rocking it. Good. Release the leg and shake them out. Squeeze the inner ankles together. So here we are in a staff pose. Legs are extended. Reach your left hand across to the outside of your right shin. We're going to take a revolved staff pose. Left arm. I can't remember if I said I was mirroring or not. Well, anyway, the back arm comes back. So here I'm gazing to my right fingertips. Try to sit up nice and tall and really use some serious strength between the hand and the outer shin to help you revolve the torso open. Also, press this back shoulder blade to the back wall. One more breath. Good, release, and we'll switch sides. So now your hand coming to the outside of the opposite shin. Send your hand back. Sit up nice and tall, shoulders more or less right over the hips. One more breath. Nice. And release to center. Child's pose. Come on down. Hips onto heels, forehead to the floor, arms are relaxed. Good. In your child's pose, this here is where I'm going to leave you today. So you're welcome. There are a couple of options. If you're out of time, you can take Savasana, maybe a belly down Savasana or crocodile pose with one knee lifted and then the other. Or if you're ready, this would be a great place to move into a standing series, Sun Salutations, followed by some warriors or some other standing postures that feel good to you. So you get to choose now. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your support of Nourishing Heart Yoga online. It just means the world to me to know that you're out there and enjoying and using these practices. All right, I'll see you again next time.